Hey guys, so today I just wanted to update you guys on Hannah's seizures. Yes, neurology. I pretty much just want to update you on neurology. So if you've been following us on my other channel, Harris Family Orbit, you'll know that Hannah's had 2 seizures in 2 weeks apart. And on this channel, I talked about Hannah's first seizure with me. I don't know, it was probably like 6 months ago. Well, it seems like every time Hannah gets a fever now, she has a seizure. And she never really used to be like this. And because it's Hannah and she has respiratory problems and all that, it's pretty serious when she has a seizure because, you know, most kids, like, it's scary for everybody. Like, I don't know how epileptic, parents do it, because when your kid is having a seizure, like, it seriously feels like your child is dying. Like, it's scary. But with Hannah, the problem is that she can't, her airway, like, most kids have shallow breathing during that time, but when Hannah goes shallow, it's like she doesn't get any oxygen, and like any breath she takes, it isn't breath really. Like, last 2 times the stat monitor has told me that her stats are 6. Now, I don't really believe that it was 6, but that is pretty low, especially considering the heart rate was still normal. So it definitely freaks us out when she has a seizure. And if you're not familiar with her seizures, the first one, we feel like there's been 5 that we know of, and they're usually when she's asleep or when she's like really tired, like about to have a nap. The first one was when we first came home, so that one was a pretty long time ago, like 2.5 years ago, but it was with a nurse, and the nurse said she had a seizure, but I don't know. It just didn't really seem like she did, and she never had one before, and I don't know. So I just kind of like brushed it off, and we were like, whatever. We did go to the hospital eventually, but yeah. So then the one 6 months ago was the first one that I had ever experienced, that my nurse had ever experienced, and she was shaking, foamy at the mouth, stats dropped. I think she was already on the ventilator. No, she wasn't. We had to put her on the ventilator. And she recovered like after a minute. And the third one she had for me, I actually when we were downstairs, it was around 12:30 in the afternoon, and I noticed that her color was really dusky, so I rushed her upstairs. I checked her oxygen, put her on oxygen. I took her temperature because she felt ice cold. Like, I wasn't taking her temperature because I thought she had a fever. I was taking it to make sure that she wasn't the opposite of a fever. I can't remember what that is. And then it ended up turning out that she had a fever. I don't know why, but her foot was frozen. So frozen the stat monitor wouldn't read. I was starting to get the Tylenol. I gave her Tylenol, and then she instantly started having a seizure. She didn't shake for this one. Her eyes were open, and she just like was unconscious, but her eyes were open, and just like really limp. And then obviously her oxygen stats and stuff started going down. Put her on the ventilator, put her on oxygen. I don't know, I don't think it really helped, but it helped make me feel better because I could see that she was breathing at least. And then the last one was at 10 at night, I think. And it's weird because this one I had never had such a gut feeling before. I was in the middle of getting ready for Victoria. I actually had a pile of clothes in my hands ready to go put it in my room to put it in a bag. And I look over and Hannah's having a seizure, but this one was like a grand mal seizure, and she actually was like flailing, hitting the wall behind her and stuff. And yeah, again, I had to put on the oxygen and the ventilator and stuff like that. This one I feel like lasted a little bit longer, but I'm not really sure if it's just because I was extra freaked out that she was flailing and I'd never seen her flail. So we went to the hospital for that, and she's had an EKG. I'm pretty sure it's EEG. One's for the heart and one's for the brain. I'm pretty sure it's EKG. She had one 6 months ago when she had her first seizure, just to make sure, because we thought that there was a couple other signs that maybe she was having it during her sleep, but it wasn't like really big, so it wasn't big enough that we actually could tell, but she was still having one. It came back fine. They didn't want to do any treatment, obviously. And the thing about seizures is, when Haley had her seizure, what they say is, if you have one seizure, it's a 25% chance that you'll have another. If you have 2, it's a 50-50. And if you have 3, it's 75% chance. And that's just for regular seizures. That doesn't go for like febrile seizures. We went there, they did the EKG again, and I swear it's EEG. I should have looked this up before I started the video. So anyways, she got that done, and it was fine again. The neurologist actually came in to talk to me. Just because of how frequently she is having it, we were really kind of leaning towards meds maybe, but we decided that we were gonna wait until her trach comes out, and once her trach comes out, then she will be on seizure meds, just because it will be extremely dangerous for her to have a seizure once her trach comes out, because then we have no way to help her. All we can do is turn up the oxygen to as high as it can go, but there's no way that we can help like give her deeper breaths, which is totally what she needs in that moment. So I would have to bag her, but the problem is with that is that you're forcing air in, so it kind of is more harm than good, especially when you're having a seizure. We kind of want to prevent that, but we're only going to put her on it for 6 months, and then we'll take her off and we'll see how it goes after that. Kids also grow out of febrile seizures, so it's not like this is going to be a lifelong thing. It's just febrile seizures, so it's just past this. I think kids usually start having it around this age, and then by the time they're 5, I think they usually grow out of it. I hope it's 5. No longer than that. Really glad that they did agree that she should go on meds when the trach is out, because it is terrifying. And yeah, it's terrifying with the trach. I can't imagine without. So we did get some Ativan just in case she has a seizure for longer than 5 minutes, and then in that case we just put it under her tongue then, but we're not giving it to her just because she has a seizure. It has to be 5 minutes. And I have to start looking at the clock when she started having a seizure, because I'm always like, I don't know, I guess it felt like this long, but you know when something scary is happening and it feels like a lifetime? Yeah, it always feels like a lifetime. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in our next video. Bye. So when baby A came out, they actually instantly had to start bagging her and get a tube in her, but baby B, they actually brought around, and I'm like on the table, so it's not like I could pick her up. Plus, but they came around, I could see her little face, and my mom took a picture, which I'll insert all these pictures, and then they wheeled her off, and then I got to see baby A really quickly, and they were bagging her with she was intubated and they were bagging her, and then she went off,